Roberto, thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
You work and live in Italy, in Milano.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about how you became a homeopath? What initiated your passion for homeopathy?
Yeah. So I was studying in the university, and I was on the third year of university. And at a certain moment, I was doing my training in a neurological department, and I started to have all the neurological diseases. So my tutor started to give me allopathic drugs, but I was not better. So a friend of mine told me, "Why don't you go to an homeopath?" And I told him, "What is an homeopath?" I never heard about homeopathy. And so he explained me a little bit, and I was really skeptical about it. But anyhow, I went to this man, and when I saw him, he was terrible. I thought, this is not a doctor, he's a butcher, perhaps. And then he started with consultation. And for me it was terrible, because he started to ask me, do you like ice cream, or do you like to stay in company, and what about this, what about that? And I thought, what is this? So after the consultation I went to my friend and I told him I will never take this candies, and he insisted, why not, you need this. So I decided, at the end I decided to take these remedies. This remedy was one remedy. And the day after, exactly the day after, I was much, much better. And so I came back to this doctor and I asked him, may I have something to read? And he gave me the lesson of homeopathic philosophy of Kant. And I read all the book in one night. I was so enthusiastic. And so this was my beginning. Then I started studying homeopathy and then acupuncture. And I was doing during my university studies. So when I finished I took my degree in medicine, I was also an homeopath. So I started working as an homeopath from the beginning. So this is more or less my story with homeopathy.
Well, so you actually came to homeopathy by your own suffering, and...
Yes.
Okay. Today I spoke with a participant of the seminar, and he said that he have read all those 3 books, one of the concepts from himself, and the book of Farrock and the book of Mr. Pfeiffer. And he said the main influence came from your book, because it was an eye-opener for him how you developed this concept with the non-verbal information, and it really gave him a clue to treat very little children. Can you say something more about those non-verbal informations, about those concepts you developed?
Yes, about non-verbal informations, non-verbal symptoms, I took about almost 1,000 symptoms from the repertory. And I think it's very good, not only for pediatricians, but also for veterinarians. Because also in veterinary practice, you don't have usually patients that speak so much. I divided also, because we have 20 concepts, but then every concept is subdivided in other sub-concepts. So for example, non-verbal symptoms, you have gestures, you have symptoms that the doctor can observe when the patient is talking. You have symptoms where you need to do the visit. So, for example, if you want to see something about the ear or other symptoms where you need to visit the patient. Or you have also non-verbal symptoms that you cannot see in your practice, but parents can see at home. For example, epistaxis, washing the face. This is a non-verbal symptom, but you never see in the practice, but parents can tell to you. So this division can help the homeopath also in developing the consultation, because the concepts are divided, but you have, for example, at the beginning you have the personal and history, personal and family history, and then you have the development, you have the dentition, you have the vaccination. So you can go through the concept and go to the last one, to the last concept, and you have almost every topic that you can cover in the children consultation.
So you always ask the parents if they see any strange signs at home, which may be helpful for finding similar.
I mean, this is a help, and it's an help especially for homeopaths that does not know enough the repertory.
Okay.
So you can ask questions. You go to the concept, for example, school, and you know which information you find in the repertory.
Yes.
So it's much more easier in this way.
To get it a little bit more clear, you may give a practical example from your own clinic.
I think that is very important when you use the concept to put together rubrics. I will do an example. If you have a patient that have problems with reproach, usually we go to the repertory and we take the rubric ailments from reproach, and you have more or less 32 or 33 remedies. If you take the concept, so if you take all the rubrics with the same meaning, so meaning about reproach, and you have about 20 rubrics in this concept, you can put together this rubric and you go to 90 remedies. So you have the possibility to open your prescription. And this, I think, is important to prescribe the so-called small remedies, because otherwise you use always the same rubrics and you prescribe always the same remedies. So when you put together symptoms about the same concept, you open your prescription. So I say that I pass from the homeopathy of symptoms to homeopathy of concept. So no more ailments from reproach, but concept reproach. Okay. Okay.
So you put all those similar rubrics together and get.
Yeah, because of course, if you use my repertory is in the concept of radar, so you can put together all the rubrics, and you can create only a big rubric and use this rubric. Of course, if you use the book, it's much more difficult because you have to take 20 rubrics and so on.
It's a big advantage of the computer.